Now let's move on to, yes, the discussion of severe weather. It is spring severe weather season. We have a lot more to get through. And as we look at tomorrow's forecast, our focus goes towards Texas and Oklahoma. I got to be honest, this is a classic setup. It's a dry line setup, so if you're local, you know exactly what we're talking about. If you're not, well, we're going to give you a little 101 on meteorology here. And it's going to be the afternoon, so that's the good thing, is that a setup like this, you have most of your day very quiet. And then once you get after 4 p.m., that's kind of ignition time for these thunderstorms. And it's always the same spot. It starts in the Panhandle, goes all the way down through West Texas, and then we'll watch it as it progresses across Texas and Oklahoma. So what's the setup here? What is a dry line? Well, we have all this dry, dusty air that's coming off of the Rockies, and as it descends off of these big mountain peaks, we're talking about elevation 11, 12,000 feet across parts of Colorado and New Mexico, that air actually heats up. In fact, we have temperatures in Roswell that will be in the mid-90s. And that dry, dusty air goes all the way down, and it nudges under the moist air that's coming in from the Gulf, which actually is surging all the way up into the Panhandle. We have dew points in the 50s and 60s, and so this is a setup where you start to see these towering thunderstorms that build up in the afternoon, and the afternoon heat is part of that instability. Once that dry line sets up, the thunderstorms are igniting and they progress out towards the east. But guess what? The dry line, it retreats back in the overnight, and guess what? You reload for the next day. So we're not only concerned about tomorrow, but yes, on Wednesday, we'll see a replay of the dry line as that dry line does retreat and then reignites for the following day. The problem is these thunderstorms, they are towering and they go really far up into the atmosphere, and that allows it to interact with some colder air aloft, and that can lead to hailstones. So the stronger the winds are within the thunderstorm itself, the bigger the hailstones are. And this is a part of our country where we can pull off a pretty impressive dynamic. And so some of these hailstones can be bigger than 2, sometimes 3 inches in diameter. In fact, some of the largest hailstones that we get in our country come from the southern and central plains. As we take a look at the timing here, 5 p.m., it's go time. Notice that it progresses out towards the east, the metroplex being impacted after 11 p.m., but that's also when we start to fizzle things out. Doesn't mean we have an exactly quiet overnight, but less action. And then here's the reload. Like clockwork, yes, we have another round that ignites Wednesday afternoon and evening, and then slowly progresses out towards Interstate 35, which really connects you from Oklahoma City down towards Dallas. So there's the zone. We're concerned about large hail, damaging winds. Now, can we see an isolated tornado? Yes, it's not the primary threat, but keep in mind these are supercells. These are independent thunderstorms. So if there's any sort of low-level spin, you can get an isolated tornado to occur. But most of the reports for tomorrow afternoon and Wednesday afternoon will likely be large hail and gusty winds.